Hello, I'm Mary V. Today let's talk about fourth finger vibrato. So if you're finding it difficult to do vibrato on your fourth finger and it feels stiff and very difficult, then don't worry, you're not alone. It is the most difficult finger to really get it to work and to become a really reliable part of your music making. But the fourth finger, it doesn't always do vibrato exactly the same as all the other fingers. And there are also a number of choices that you can try out, techniques to try to see if you can find a way for your finger to be comfortable and also to do a really nice vibrato. And one of them is something that David Oistrakh did. Now, David Oistrakh was one of the greatest violinists of the 20th century. And he varied his vibrato, and he did certain things with his hand if he had a long note on with the fourth finger. What he did was he would place the third finger very close to the third for support, and then with these two fingers, the first two, he'd waggle them and use them to make the whole hand vibrate. Okay? So he's not actually vibrating with the fourth. He's actually using this part of the hand to make the hand vibrate. And it's from the wrist. So if you put your violin down and then use your other hand, you can actually feel this very strongly. So you put your fourth finger down with the third close, and then you use this part of the hand. Wait a minute, there. This part of the hand to vibrate the hand. And the two fingers are sort of further up. They're not down in playing position, they're further up like that. Can you see that? If you can get that impulse, and there's a lot of impulse in this part of the hand here, going down to the wrist. You can feel that strongly if you take your violin away and you sort of use your wrist to practice this movement. You can see that there's hardly any effort. The only effort is to keep the fourth finger on the string, but there's no muscular effort or effort with the tendons. There's the rest of the hand is making the vibrato. It's incredibly effective. When you've got a long note and your fourth finger isn't working properly, or it's straight, or you can't reach or something, you can get your fourth finger into a good position and then use the other fingers to do a really nice big vibrato. I've got a link for you to be able to see this. You can find it down below in the description. And you can see the variety and how beautiful his hands are. Quite a few people do switch to a little bit of arm vibrato to help out their fourth finger. And again, it's actually not the fourth finger that's doing the vibrating, it's the movement of the arm. All the fourth finger has to do is be on the string, and the rest of the hand and arm work for it and just vibrate it like that. So when you do it and you realise that it's not the fourth finger doing the work, you realise there's a massive difference between vibrating the fourth finger and these other ways of allowing other things to vibrate the hand. And the fourth finger simply vibrates along with it. Okay, so do try out those different ideas, because you may be able to find something that really works for your fourth finger. And it's quite normal to make switches like this to facilitate your hand in different positions. Just to mention, another thing that you need to think about with the fourth finger is that if it's straight, okay, you can still do vibrato with it. You can still do vibrato with a straight finger, okay? You just need to be aware of the way that your thumb comes into play if you've got a straight fourth finger. It's likely that you will squeeze a bit more with the thumb So watch out for that. And if possible, try to get into a position where your fourth finger is curved even slightly. It really helps the whole hand. It helps the whole hand. So there's the David Oistrakh Vibrato, and it's an incredibly useful thing, especially for people with a short fourth finger like me. But it really applies to everyone, because the reason our fourth finger is so weak is because it's connected to the third finger by a tendon. They both share a tendon, and that's why the fourth finger needs to be treated slightly differently, because it is a weaker finger. So I do hope that this has helped you, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now. Bye.